Asia as a whole seems like one of the most beautiful continents to explore in the world. It presents you with a wide array of food, culture, nightlife, and vast career opportunities. Whether you want to check yourself into a cat cafe, Japan has it. Whether you want to explore ancient Buddhist temples, China has got you covered. Whether you want to have one of the most fastest internet in the world, Korea can provide you that service. All in all, it seems like Asia as a continent is a land of tremendous wealth and happy living. Unfortunately, Asia also has its own fair share of crimes and murders that occur, even to say that some of them go unsolved. So today, we're going to dive deep into 3 terrifying unsolved mysteries that has happened in Asia. On December 31st, 2000, the corpses of 44-year-old Michio Miyazawa, his 41-year-old wife Yasuko, and their children 8-year-old Nina and 6-year-old Rei were discovered by Yasuko's mother Asahi Geino at their house in Kamasoshi-gaya neighborhood of Setagaya, which is located in the western suburbs of Tokyo. Michio, Yasuko, Nina had been stabbed to death while Rei had been strangled. Investigation of the crime scene by the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department concluded that the family had been murdered on December 30th at around 11:30 p.m., after which the killer stayed in the house for several hours. It was said that the killer entered through the open window of the second-floor bathroom at the rear of the house by climbing up a tree and then removing the window screen. The killer used his bare hands to strangle Rei, sleeping in his room on the second floor, killing him through asphyxiation. Michio rushed up the first floor stairs after detecting the disturbance in Rei's room, fighting and injuring the killer until being stabbed in the head with a sashimi bocho knife. A police report claimed that part of the sashimi's knife's blade broke off inside Michio's head, and the killer then attacked Yasuko and Nina with the broken knife until using a santoku knife from the Miyazawa's house to murder them. The killer remained inside Miyazawa's house for 2 to 10 hours, using the family's computer, consuming barley tea, melon, and ice cream from the refrigerator, using the toilet to excavate his feces, treating his injuries using first aid kits and other sanitary products, and taking a nap on their sofa in the second-floor living room. After thorough investigation from the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, an analysis of Michio Miyazawa's computer revealed that it had been connected to the internet the morning after the murders at 1:18 a.m. and again at around 10 a.m. Around the same time, Yasuko's mother Asahi entered the house and discovered the murders. Asahi became suspicious after being unable to call her daughter after the killer had unplugged the phone line. So she visited the house but received no answer after ringing the doorbell. Authorities believe that the killer stayed in the house until at least 1:18 a.m., but the computer usage at 10 a.m. could have also been accidentally triggered by the mother himself, Asahi, during her discovery of the crime scene. The Tokyo police have been able to deduce several very specific clues to the perpetrator's identity. However, they were unable to produce or apprehend a suspect despite all the fingerprint and other DNA evidence. It was noted from the investigation that Tokyo police even gathered the killer's feces from Miyazawa's bathroom, and after analyzing it, they were able to deduce that the killer had eaten string beans and sesame seeds the previous day. They've also determined that the clothes and sashimi knife left behind by the killer had been purchased in the Kanagawa prefecture that were only manufactured and only sold 130 units. But at the end of the investigation, they were only able to track down 12 of the people who bought the sweaters, which means the killer is still not caught to this day. On March 26, 1991, South Koreans were celebrating a public holiday, for it was also the time of the 1991 local elections. 5 boys decided to spend the day catching frogs in the streams of Mount Woryong and Darseo on the western outskirts of Daegu. The boys never returned to their homes, and after they were reported missing, their story became a national sensation. President Rote-woo sent 300,000 police and military troops in search for the missing boys, with the searches shown on live television. Several of the boys' parents left their jobs to travel around the country looking for their children. Mount Oryang was searched over 500 times, but still, the children were not able to be found. The 5 boys were aged between 9 and 13 years old. Uchul Won, age 13, Jo Ho-yeon, age 12, Kim Young-gyu, age 11, Park Cha-in, age 10, and Kim Jong-sik, age 9. All 5 boys were from the Dalso district of Daegu and attended the same elementary school. Fast forward 11 years to September 26, 2002. A man searching for acorns discovered the children's bodies in the mountain, an area that has been previously searched. He first reported the remains via an anonymous phone call. Initially, the police stated that they thought the boys had died of hypothermia. However, the parents did not accept that conclusion and demanded a full investigation. The families questioned the conclusion that the boys had simply died after getting lost due to the oddities of the boys' clothes being found tied in knots and of their bodies being found from a short distance from the village, which is an area that the boys knew very well. Forensic experts found the skulls of 3 showed blunt force trauma, possibly from metal tools. Police said that it is possible the children were killed by someone who may have flown into rage. However, even to this day, the mysterious death of the Frog Boys still remains unsolved, as nobody knows how they died. At 6:35 a.m. on January 6, 1979, Tan Kwon-chai and Lee Main-ying left for work. They operated a minibus service that transported students to school. Their 4 children, Tan Kok-peng, Tan Kok-kin, Tan Kok-soon, and Tan Chin-yi, had still been asleep at the time. At 7:10 a.m., their mother phoned them 3 times to wake them up, but received no answer. She proceeded to ask a neighbor to help wake the children. The neighbor knocked on the door, but also received no reply. When the Tans returned home at 10 a.m., Mei-ying found the bodies of her children in the bathroom. They had been left piled on top of each other in their t-shirts and underwear, with slash wounds on their head. The right arm of Kok-peng, the oldest child, had almost been severed, while Chin-yi, the youngest child, has slash wounds on her face. The children reported to have at least 20 slash wounds each. The police concluded that the murders had been planned beforehand and that the killer or killers had been taking care to avoid leaving evidence. However, there were bloodstains in the kitchen sink and the killer or killers appeared to have cleaned themselves prior to leaving the flat. There were no evidence of forced entry. The flat had not been ransacked and no items were reported missing. The murder weapons, which are believed to have been a chopper and a dagger, were never found. The eldest son, Tan Kok-peng, is believed to have put up a fight with the killer, as several strands of long hair were found in his right hand. The investigation was conducted by the Criminal Investigation Department's Special Investigation Section. They were unable to identify the motive, but inferred that the murders were motivated by vengeance. The police also believed that the perpetrators had personal knowledge of the Tans and their circumstances, as they were seemingly aware that Mei-ying had undergone sterilization after the birth of her last child. The Tans received a Chinese New Year card 2 weeks after the murder, depicting happy children playing together with the words, "Now you can have no more offspring, ha 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 ha," in Chinese. It was signed off as the murderer. The sender addressed the parents by their personal nicknames, Ah Chai and Ah Eng, further amplifying the theory that it was someone with close relations to the family or with knowledge of the family. The children were buried on January 7, 1979, at Chua Chu Kang Cemetery along with some of their belongings. Their parents subsequently ceased their minibus business and started working at a company that produced PVC materials. 5 years later, after the incident, Lee Main-ying managed to reverse the sterilization that she underwent prior to the murder and gave birth to a baby boy. I just want to say thank you to everyone who have watched this video. If you can, it would be greatly appreciated if you can smash the like button on this video and share it to others. But most importantly, Please subscribe to this channel for more content like this in the near future. Also, please feel free to tell me in the comment section below on which urban legend I should do next. This is Mr. Shinramen. Till next time, stay safe and stay scared.